In Financial Field, where 70,000 are rocking and ready to go in Philadelphia. Just a short time ago, these Philly fans in full roar as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. Pyrotechnics ablaze. They're set to go as their Eagles will match up with the New York Jets. Seems like we were just starting training camp, but here we are in October, and off we go on EA Sports. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line.
Here we go, Pac-Man. 180! Run. Shoot! Watch the shoot!
Now a two-time 1,000-yard rusher for the Bears. This is Jordan Howard. It'll go as a loss of a yard on the game's first play. Second down.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11.
Ready?
Now Wentz on the bootleg. Gonna look deep for Jeffrey. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off at about the 31. And they will take over at the 29-yard line. Well, not a good omen there. His first throw of the afternoon intercepted.
And I know what the fans are thinking right now. I hope there's not negative thoughts in his head going forward since that's his first throw of the game. But one of the things I remember about him coming out of school is he's able to wipe things away pretty easily and move on.
Back to throw, Darnold. Oh, he's going to into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Avonte Maddox. And a huge return as he'll take this one all the way down inside the 30-yard line.
Go. 280! Drop deep.
So after the INT, here's Wentz. This is taken in by Jeffrey. He's got it. Touchdown, Eagles. Alshon Jeffrey, his second touchdown on the season, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. Elliott good on the extra point, and it's now a 7-0 game. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. This is fielded at the goal line. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. They had the interception last time. It led to the opening touchdown. So now 7-0 to score as they start 1st and 10. Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. Now a clash of bodies here, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Ronald Darby. Thomas, the intended target. CD, I know it's just his second year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, second year, as you noted.
Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. C.J. Mosley, the linebacker, making sure his presence is felt. They'll come up after the sack on a 2nd and 12. A quick throw there out to Jeffrey. That one covers 24 yards. It's a first down.
And let's face it, that what we just saw there, not a surprise, is it? I mean, this is what he does well. If you don't tackle him as soon as he catches the ball, this is the end result. Big yardage afterwards.
Got the speed, the agility, so good with run after catch. And we're only in the first quarter, so they better get a wrangler and a hold on that quickly.
Yeah, you're exactly right. What's really difficult to try and defend him is if you want to press him so that you get him on the ground quickly after the catch, A lot of times he'll just run past you at the initial point of contact, and he'll go deep.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. Got out of the pocket. Didn't look like he had anybody open, Charles, so just gets rid of it.
And a good play by him. If no one's open and you don't have a running lane that you want to take, make the right choice. Get rid of it. Live to fight another down.
Here's Miles Sanders, the rookie second rounder from Penn State. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. It'll be a pickup of 5, and that leaves him with 5 more. 3rd and 5 now.
Brings up 3rd and 5.
From the gun, it's Wentz. To the end zone, but it's incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
The kick by Elliott is good. And the lead moves to 10-zip. That drive took him inside the 10. Good job defensively to hold him to 3.
Yeah, I like how you did that. Give a little tip of the cap to the stop troops there because they didn't give up a touchdown in that situation, right? Made them kick the field goal. And, yeah, points went against them, but that feels a whole lot better running off the field.
Here we go. Here we go. Here we go.
Take over 1st and 10 at their own 30-yard line.
Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. And it's been a miserable start for them offensively, obviously. 2 drives, 2 interceptions.
And this is where you have to know your quarterback and know how you actually have to reach him. Do you do it with a little bit of humor? Maybe you break the ice a little bit like, hey, didn't we practice in that color jersey all week? Not the one that you're throwing it to? Or maybe you have to be stern with him. But whatever it's going to take to get the message, it has to be done. He's putting the game in jeopardy.
Had the completed pass, but for no gain, stopped right at the line, so it's 2nd and 10. Now Darnold. Under pressure now, Darnold, and he goes down. Fletcher Cox, he's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year. Darnold and the Jets come up 3rd and long following the sack. 3rd and long, it's Darnold. And that is incomplete. Oh, he had a defender right there with him to force that to the ground. And 4th down now coming up. So the defense able to get off the field here on 3rd down.
And it's one of the goals of the game. They've got to be effective on passing downs. It's one of the few things defenses chart. How did we do on 3rd down? That's a nice start for them in this one.
Well, he wasn't too far from breaking that. Officially, give him 15. And the Eagles will have it, taking over 1st and 10. Already at the line, this Philly offense set to go. They're looking sharp, out early to a 10-zip lead and looking for more as they've got it 1st and 10. They go with Howard to begin the drive. 10 yards there and an Eagle 1st down. We often give credit to the O-line there. 2 tight end formation. Those tight ends block pretty well also.
Yeah, and that's one of the most dynamic positions in football now. The tight ends who can block at the line of scrimmage at the point of attack, and they can also get downfield and catch the football.
And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. That good for 22 and a 1st down. Well, they're making a real first-quarter statement with a run game, no doubt.
For those who remember old-school football, running it, establishing things, seeing backs find holes, get through them, they've got to like what they're seeing from this unit so far. Right now, they've decided to, as you said, establish the run game, and they've been successful doing it. Well, we saw them there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
On 2nd and 9, Wentz, he'll take a shot for the end zone. Oh, he almost had it. Already with 1 interception, just missing his 2nd there.
Not only did they drop, it looked like an interception in the end zone, they blew a golden opportunity to shift the momentum.
After an incomplete pass on 2nd down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9. And this is caught by Jackson. And he'll take it into the end zone for an Eagles touchdown. Deshaun Jackson, his first touchdown on the year. And the Eagles able to push further out in front. Elliott good with a PAT. And that makes our score 17-0. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line.
The Jets take over 1st and 10 at their own 22-yard line.
Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. And still no points on the scoreboard. You're coming off of the 3 and out. They're just looking for anything to grab onto right now, aren't they?
I'm wondering if someone's going to take charge in the huddle. You know, we always look to the quarterback, but sometimes it's another player on the team, a star, a veteran, someone with some excitement and energy. It's like, all right, guys, let's shake things up and let's go, because they still have an opportunity to make things happen.
Shake it off. So after the incompletion, 2nd and 10 from the 22. They'll run here with a former Steeler. This is Le'Veon Bell. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. It'll go as a gain of 11 and a Jets first down. Bell, of course, 3-time 1,000-yard rusher. Sat out 2018, but you look back to 2017, a tick under 1,300 yards and almost 700 more receiving. Now, after the run by Bell, here's another 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be taken down right around the 34 after a pickup of only a yard.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. What that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. It'll go as a gain of 11 and a Jets first down.
I have to admit, I'm excited by that play call and the end result, because this is a team that's down big early in the first quarter, and a lot of teams will just panic, abandon the playbook, and just start firing the ball all over the place. It's way too early for that. Stick to what works for you.
Down double digits, and we talked about their game plan being both running and passing there. You're right. They're sticking to the game plan, getting the ground game going.
A lot of football left to be played.
Big yardage after the catch. That one winds up going for 36. So a big play as it gets them all the way down to the 20 now for 1st and 10. 17-0 our score after one. First red zone opportunity now for the Jets. 1st and 10 right at the 20. Darnold from the gun. And that's going to be intercepted. Malcolm Jenkins, the Pro Bowler. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Boy, so another interception, CD. It feels like he's starting to unravel a little bit.
And as you would expect, still work in progress here in his second season. He has to start ironing out some of these mistakes, though, because now his head coach, his offensive coaches, they have to evaluate whether you keep playing him and let him work through it, or you start thinking about going to his backup.
And that'll hurt the average a bit, as this time they're able to get him behind the line. A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. It's a 2nd down run with Sanders. And some room for him there as he'll take this up to about the 15. 8 yards there on the carry, and now they're left with a much more manageable 3rd and 3.
That's a gain of 8. Makes it 3rd and 3.
With 20.
Wentz off the fake handoff to Howard. Gonna look deep for Jeffrey. Oh, and a bad throw there. It's intercepted. Picked off by Matthias Farley. And he will return this one to the 30-yard line.
Boy, Brandon, that's what I'd call an ill-advised pass right there on 3rd down. I mean, you just need a yard or two to keep the drive going. Instead, he's trying to hit a home run. You've got to really like your chances if you're going to take a shot like that.
Mike, 53. 53. Mike.
After the interception, here's Darnold. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on second down. Here's Darnold. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by Rodney McLeod. And they are going to set up shop at the 40-yard line.
Here we go. 180.
And watch your leg.
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. He's going to let it go. And this is caught inside the 5. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Philadelphia. 3 touchdown passes now for Carson Wentz. And the Eagles able to push further out in front. Elliott good on the extra point. And the route is on here in this first half. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. Typically down to the first half, I might say, oh, you at least need a field goal out of this drive. But they're down to the point where nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Fletcher Cox make that now 8 sacks for him on the season. Well, for last week's performance, which was so good, he was named NFC Defensive Player of the Week. He got a lot of praise, and understandably so, from national media. Looking pretty good on that play, too.
And I love what he told us this week before the game. He talked about how much time they spend working on pass rush moves, every position, because anyone could go after the quarterback in their defense, and you can see how they've all absorbed their lessons.
19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains. It's been a very one-sided game so far. They got to change what they're doing right now, don't they? You can't wait till the halftime speech to make an adjustment.
No, you can't, because if you're doing it right, you're adjusting from series to series, and they need a big adjustment here to try and put some points on the board.
Darnold completes it, and he's able to get this one out closer to midfield across the 45. Give him 9 there on the first down completion. Certainly worth noting he's now 1 catch away from 600. He's at 599 in his career. That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. Here's Darnold. Open man is Robbie Anderson. And he'll get it down to the 47 here. 6 yards to pick up, and that's a first down. He was the leading receiver for the Jets a season ago. Robbie Anderson, 50 catches, over 750 yards, and getting more and more comfortable with Sam Darnold. Now a year plus under their belts collectively. You figure that those numbers for Anderson might be trending further north. He'll get about 4 here, down to the 43-yard line.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense, because you're excited about hitting him in the first half, maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter games turn into bigger runs later.
They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete. I know he wants to get his team back in the game, but a 50-50 ball right there that maybe was a little questionable.
Yeah, he's pretty lucky to get that one back. I think that sometimes these quarterbacks play with a lot of confidence that borders on arrogance, and that can put your team in some Dutch.
Yeah, especially maybe want to look at some safer routes after the interception he had that ended their last drive.
Partner, I think that completion takes the definition of dink and dunk to a different level, doesn't it?
It does, and the defense was right there, kind of played into their hands. Here's the Jets punter now, as he'll punt it away for the second time. And here's a very low-line drive, almost whiffed on it. Officially just 27 yards there on the punt. And out will come the offense as they take over. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. And they're hoping to redo their efforts of the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline. Because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
A good run there on first down, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 2. 8 yards the gain on that last run. Here's 2nd and a couple. They'll run. It's Sanders. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. It's a loss of 4. Now 3rd down. The Eagles on 3rd down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This will be 3rd and 6. False start there. That will set the offense back 5 yards.
Brandon, the lineman certainly flinched there before the snap. A good call.
So the false start certainly doesn't help matters as they'll try again now. 3rd and long. Working from the gun. Wentz. Oh, did he hang on to it? He did on the dive. Nice grab. He had the touchdown earlier. This one's going to get him a 1st down. 2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. Here's a pass swung out left to his running back. They'll get 4 there out of the screen, and it's 2nd down.
In order for a screen pass to break big, a lot of things have to come together and be well executed. But all it takes is one small thing to go wrong and keep it from being a big game.
4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. Here's Wentz to throw. And he'll lay out and pull it in. What a diving catch there. 7 yards there and a 1st down.
Well, partner, when you ask anyone other than your QB to throw the ball, you must have a lot of confidence, or you think you're really going to fake them out, and it looks like they did exactly that.
They're going deep in the playbook, and a great grab on the other end. And now a throw on 1st down there, but it's incomplete. This secondary has been roasted in this first half, and they get a measure of revenge there. Nice play on the deep ball.
Yeah, they're going to need a few more plays like that in order to get their confidence fully back, but that's one step in the proper direction.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Now a play fake. Wentz. And that'll be incomplete. Good protection that time, and they couldn't hook up on the long one. Now it's 3rd down.
Feels like they're getting caught in between here because they did incompletions on 1st and 2nd down. Now you got to worry a little bit about the clock because you prefer not to give them another shot here in the first half. But if you don't pick up the 1st down, guess what? You're likely going to have to.
Now a shot taken on 3rd down, but it's going to wind up incomplete.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
Oh, he'll field it in the end zone. That'll be put in the books as a 53-yard punt. And the Jets offense will be backed up to start this drive as they've got it 1st and 10. Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. Well, what's the plan of attack here? Very late 2nd quarter, and look where the ball is.
Yeah, a bad spot for you. But the defense has all 3 timeouts. So what you're telling your team is ball security number 1. It's not all on the running backs if you decide to run the football. That offensive line has got to protect them and wedge out some space because you can't just kneel. They take 3 timeouts. They're going to get the ball back in good field position with a chance to put points on the board. You've got to try and get a 1st down and run out this first half.
On 2nd and 7, Darnold. He's going to air one out for Anderson. That's incomplete. Nearly another pick. My goodness.
Well, partner, they're not content to run this one out as we head towards the half, trying to hit a big chunk play right there and add to their score.
Yeah, this is a confident group. At the very least, they're thinking field goal.
Yeah, and I don't blame them one bit. I don't think you sit on the ball going into the half when you have a chance to put some more points on the board.
And he's going to go down. He backed up into the end zone, and this is going to wind up a safety. And the safety there, another mistake, and these mistakes just keep piling up.
How many more can they make? They put themselves in such a massive hole now. It's going to be difficult to dig out from under.
Yeah, for sure they can't afford anymore at this point. And a nice return sets them up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. On the NFL scoreboard, second quarter in Nashville. And it's the Titans who are off to the early lead in that ball game. That'll be a game to monitor as we go along. Already at the line, this Philly offense set to go. You've got less than 30 seconds left here in the half. You're well on your own side of the field. What are we doing here, Coach Davis?
Well, I'm trying something on first down, and it's something that's safe. It's something that's been done many times before. A lot of people say it's not even worth trying, but I'm running a draw. I'm running a screen. I'm seeing if something pops, and if it does, that can alter my strategy and potentially get me some points. And if it doesn't work, well, then you just run the clock out and go to the locker room.
Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete. Ball on the 30 as they come up 2nd and 10.
They're going to need some therapy after this.
Wentz now to throw. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. As Sanders has it poked free. Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see. Wentz now 8 of 17 so far, under 50%. Shotgun now for Wentz. It's caught by Jackson. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. A big pickup there for the Eagles' first down, 18 yards. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. A final shot before half for Wentz. He's going to throw one up for the end zone. And this is intercepted, but they'll say out of bounds. So very close to a turnover there in the end zone. So we've come to halftime after a very one-sided beginning to this one. As we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach! So the Eagles with the lead, and they're going to get this football first as the third quarter gets underway. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line.
The Jets take over 1st and 10 at their own 22-yard line.
Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. And that first half, one to forget really on both sides of the ball. They got to find some way to string something together here, don't they?
Yeah, they're down big.
Le'Veon Bell, it's a foot race. 30. And he finally goes down at the 23-yard line. It's a big run that time by Bell. 55 yards. So barely time to catch our breath. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the red zone. Darnold. Oh, a battle for it here, and this will be caught. Now they'll have it 1st and goal following that gain of 17. I don't know what they talked about at halftime. Whatever it was, it worked. They look like a different team here in the third quarter.
Yeah, I doubt that there are very many trash cans that got kicked over, that type of a speech. I think what they did was they analyzed what worked in the first half, what didn't, and figured out a better game plan.
And caught by Thomas. Touchdown, Jets. Demaryius Thomas, his first touchdown on the year. And the Jets are able to cut into this deficit. Extra point by McLaughlin is up and good. And that will shave one more off this lead. Following the touchdown, here's McLaughlin to kick off. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. first and 10. Here's Wentz. And he'll hit Jeffrey complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A very solid gain of 27. So in Jet territory now. Here's first and 10 at the 48-yard line. They run with Howard. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on first down.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
From the 39, Wentz. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
I remember a coach telling me a long time ago the difference between playing corner and safety in the NFL. Corner is like the Autobahn. Everybody just flying by, and these corners have been really busy in this game, although they got it done on the last play.
On the last play, yes, but there have been some good numbers put up against them offensively. And he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36. It's a first down following a gain of 3.
As an unbiased observer, I think it would have been interesting to see what they would have done if they hadn't gotten the first down there. But since they did, I guess the point is moot.
Yeah, they were right there in that middle ground, field goal range, punt, go for it. But as you said, they picked it up. And down right around the 32-yard line, 4 yards on the pickup.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out. But a running game can really benefit your team right now.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. Throwing now is Wentz. His throw incomplete. The safety Jamal Adams able to break that one up.
Now the secondary's really struggled today, but that's a little bit of a measure of revenge, isn't it? And they just followed the basic rules. See ball, knock ball away. Turns into a nice play.
Got to get to the 26 for a first. This is third down. Throwing is Wentz. The Sanders has got it complete. He'll get the first down and more inside the 20. And finally wrestled down at the 11. 21 yards there on third down.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there, getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, get it to him in space, let him use his leg.
Yeah, if he can get a matchup against a linebacker or maybe a defensive end dropping out in a zone blitz, he's going to win that back.
Got him in. Open, it's Ertz. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Carson Wentz with touchdown pass number 4 on the afternoon. And the Eagles able to push further out in front. Elliott now to add the extra point. And that will bump the lead up. And not a bad return. Here he gets it out to the 25-yard line. Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. I guess they have to feel a little gratified to at least get on the board last time, but still work to do.
No doubt about it. I wonder now if they're going to try to increase the urgency a little bit, maybe pump up the pace, maybe go 2 minute. Who knows? Let's see what they decide to do.
And the first play of the drive there is incomplete. We have not seen a whole lot of wide open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the score. Pressure comes, and down he goes. The Eagles get there for the sack. Fletcher Cox in there to get him, and on the season now, that is 9 sacks for him. Darnold and the Jets come up 3rd and long following the sack.
Watch the screen. Pass. Hello, lady. 4-7's the mic. 4-7's the mic. Here we go.
Darnold off the play fake to Bell. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. Brandon Graham applied the heat off the edge.
It's been a tough one all game long for this offensive line. They're already down big, and now you know they're just going to come after the quarterback in a big way, don't you?
Yeah, they just can't get out of their own way right now. It's created an avalanche, and an avalanche is coming right on top of it. .62 yards on the punt that time. Wow. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Already at the line, this Philly offense set to go. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing, because that drive went and went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
And he'll get this from the 25 to the 30 for a pickup of 5.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball, protect this lead, give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. To throw, it's Wentz. And he connects with Ertz. And he's got the first before he's brought down at the 39-yard line. An Eagle first down there, Wentz to Ertz, and the names that end in TZ. Wentz now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. On play action, it's Wentz. He's going to let this go deep for Jackson. This is caught inside the 15. And he'll take it into the end zone for an Eagles touchdown. Deshaun Jackson with 2 touchdowns on the season, both in this game, as his guys continue to pour it on. Elliott Good with a PAT. Elsewhere, a 3rd quarter score from NRG Stadium in Houston. And the Falcons have opened up the lead there to a couple of scores. Remember to keep an eye on the ticker, of course, at the bottom of your screen for updates on that game and others around the NFL.
Let's go.
The Jets take over 1st and 10 at their own 21-yard line.
Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means they're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here.
At the 22-yard line.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run.
I got you. I got you, son. I got you. You're all mine. You're all mine.
Now it's Darnold. And he is going to be taken down. And that should be the final play of this 3rd quarter. Derek Barnett able to maneuver in for the sack.
That right now, that's a defeated team out there. I think you can see it totally in their body language.
Hands on hips, heads low. It's just been a struggle from the start.
Yeah, this team has been thoroughly beaten right from the word go.
It's a 7-yard run, but it does bring up 4th down.
We often talk of situational football. Let's just call it team football. The defense did their job, got off the field, brought the punting situation, so they're turning the ball back over to their offense. You think those guys will get along very well right now? Of course they will. Defense helped the offense. Now it's their turn to take it downfield.
Give them 11 yards that time on the return. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. They'll begin the drive with Howard. And this defense not giving him anything there. Maybe a yard up to the 36.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
A quick throw there out to Jeffrey. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. It's a gain of 16 and an Eagle first down. And he's certainly been a huge factor in this when he's got the 2 touchdowns to his credit. Now they look to him again. He picks up the first.
Yeah, I can hear everyone saying, well, why don't you cover him? Double him, triple him, do what you have to do. But sometimes they get locked into such a groove and such a connection, it doesn't matter how many guys are in his area.
He certainly looks to be in that groove right now. Looking for more there on first down, but this throw downfield incomplete. 4th quarter, you've got the big lead. If you're coaching, Charles, you still taking shots like that downfield?
I'd be a little more concerned with running some clock and making sure you're taking care of the lead, because you keep flinging it around, you throw a couple of picks, you can put yourself in jeopardy.
Here's Sanders. Call it a gain of 4, and it'll leave them with a 3rd down and 6 to go. The Eagles on 3rd down. They've had good success, 5 for 8 to this point. This will be 3rd and 6. Deep ball for Jeffrey. This is taken in by Jeffrey. He's got it. Touchdown, Eagles. Alshon Jeffrey, 43 yards, as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. Elliott good on the extra point, and that will extend this big lead. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. Again, it's Bell. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. That's a big loss of 3, and it brings up 3rd down. So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now 3rd and long. They'll run it with Bell. 4 yards on the pickup there, but it's going to take him to 4th down.
So where'd all that running room that he had in the first half go? Because it looks like it's drying up a little bit here. Someone made some adjustments, it appears, at least on this drive.
Here's the Jets punter now. He's been one of their few bright spots so far. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. With it is Jackson. Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup? Let him get some time.
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row They were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL. These guys play, and we just play them all the way through. Now, in certain situations, they will take them out, but for the most part, they're not as worried and concerned about getting them out of the game. That's always puzzled me a little bit.
Now throwing on third down there, but he cannot connect.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. And he'll take this in at the 1-yard line. So possession goes over here on the punt. And the offense will come back out deep in their own territory. Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. And right now these guys, they're shuffling a little bit, maybe doubting, because 3 straight drives have ended with them punting the football away.
Yeah, so you start pointing fingers at each other a little bit, asking a lot of questions. What are you seeing? What are you getting? Maybe trying to narrow down your playbook a little bit and maybe get simpler rather than more complex in order to try and fashion together a drive.
A good pickup there, 21 yards. One play has him to the 37 here for 1st and 10.
Let's go, Heavy. Heavy, what you got? What you got, Heavy?
Now they'll try to sweep with Bell. And he'll grab a gain of 5 out of this up to the 41-yard line.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the second level.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Jets football as we get you reset here. They're looking at 2nd down now as they search for a consolation score. From the 41, Darnold. And my goodness, another interception. Picked off at the 48, and his guys are going to take over at their own 48-yard line. All smiles and high fives on that defensive sideline. That interception will cap off what was truly a tremendous performance.
Yeah, if you can hold a team to 7 points in the NFL, that's the kind of day that you feel really good about. And I do know a few guys are going to think to themselves, held them to 7. If we'd made one more play, could have had our shutout.
Brings up 2nd and 5 at the 48-yard line.
After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5.
I'm coming after you. Big edge.
Wentz on the give to Sanders. And he loses the football a 2nd time. And the Jets have recovered.
The psychology of the game never ceases to amaze me, because you would think there would never be a fumble from what we hear from coaches all the time, right?
And how much they practice not fumbling.
Practice it, preach it, talk about it all the time. You would think no one would ever turn it over. Yet they are humans out there running around, and we just saw another one.
Opportunistic by the defense. Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that, and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team, and we were losing late in a game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward.
So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. Here's Darnold. And that's going to be incomplete. A lot of contact, no call, and it's 3rd down. Another incompletion. You know, it's a wonder he's still moving around back there the number of times he's been sacked.
Yeah, he's staying out there, isn't he? And you don't think about it much in a game like this, but he's showing incredible leadership. Still competing, still fighting, not taking himself out of a ball game that appears lost.
And he will have a man, Demaryius Thomas.
Let's go, boys. Bring it up.
Offense for them has been at a premium. You wonder where plays like that have been all game long.
They're thinking the exact same thing themselves, but they're also looking forward now because now these plays are really for next week, trying to get some momentum going.
Now a first down carry by Bell. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down.
Man, these guys may not win this ball game, but you certainly can't fault the effort of this man here today. He's been a real thorn in their sides all afternoon. And that last carry puts him over the 100-yard mark.
A big offensive explosion helped leading them to victory. And the defensive guys, they're just saying, hey, put those points up every week. We'll just keep winning.
They will gratefully accept them, won't they? It makes their job that much easier when they're scoring that many points. Allows them to play with a totally different style and a different flow.
So for Philadelphia, it took a while, but they finally get that first win after 4 straight losses. And they will hit the road next week to take on the Minnesota Vikings. Meanwhile, for the Jets, they'll drop down to 1-3. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. I'm Brandon Gaudenser.